Okay, so here's a case. In case you don't know, this is the case of the brand new push-alongs. Well, at least like the ones that include the classic Thomas and Percy for the 80th anniversary. I did get this from a Main Hobbies. I did see on Twitter that people were talking about it, that they're finally available in the US, and you're able to buy them from there. I'll link it in the description down below in case you do want to get it. And my main reason for getting this was because obviously I want the new Thomas and Percy. I also wanted to see if I could potentially get the Railway Series Thomas. I know it's a chase variant, so I may not get anything at all, you know. There's also like some AG push-alongs in here, which I do not have, so I just decided to get it. You know, take my chance, see if, you know, add some new stuff to my collection and see if I get the Storybook Thomas, as it's officially called. Okay, so I got the top open. I can already see Whiff in there, and Kana. You could barely see that. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out the display. And I already see two of the new Thomases. I'm trying not to spoil the bottom because if I'm not mistaken, okay. Never mind. I think I already see three of the classic Thomases and one of the Percys fell out, so well, that sucks. I'm gonna show the contents. Two Percys, three Thomases if I'm not mistaken. So 1, 2, and 3. All engines go Salty, to be exact, and all engines go Toby. Kana, Whiff, and Harold, just to show the box that they come in. Shows CGI Thomas and Percy on this side, nothing on the back, and then the same renders on this side. Let's put this to the back. Okay, so let me just organize this real quick and we'll get to unboxing. Okay, so slightly disappointed I didn't get the Storybook Thomas, but it's alright. I kind of wasn't expecting to get it with my luck. Just kind of also to see, like, because I haven't seen anybody else get it from these cases, at least from this store. I'm assuming you'd be able to get them, but who knows, right? Just more information out there to see if we could all figure it out eventually. So I'm going to start with Harold, because, gonna be honest, I'm not really a big fan of All Engines Go Harold. It's just that face, like, and I don't know, like, what's with his shape, like, it's just kind of more, it's like blockier for some reason. Not the biggest fan. I'm hoping maybe they re-release like a classic Harold later down the road if this line continues, but who knows, right? So let's get this one opened. Okay, so first impressions, I mean, this is all metal. The bottoms are plastic. You've probably seen this like 1,000 times now. This has been out for like maybe 2 years, I think. 2 or 3 years now. And so these open up. It's got some kind of chip there. And the top, it's also kind of dirty on the blades. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? I mean, it's like a $3 or $4 toy. You can't expect these to be like super high quality, but it'd be nice at least if they were free from these like little mistakes and all that. Okay, it's kind of weird. I know, I just don't like the face at all. And also, like, another thing, like in the show itself, he's kind of more of like a cream color, while here he's white, which is, you know, more like his classic look. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Maybe they just didn't look at the references and just made him white as in the classic show. Who knows? Then next we got Kana. Okay, so for my like push-along collection, I was only planning on collecting like the classic characters for push-alongs, because like right here, like this is literally all I have right now. And then by classic I mean like anything from like season 1 through 24 for the most part, because, you know, obviously Thomas and Diesel, classic characters. Then we got some CGI characters. These are the only ones I found, so it's literally all I got, like I said. I do plan on getting like, you know, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, all that down the road. Just I gotta find them first. So yeah, this is all I have. So hopefully, you know, my collection will grow a bit more as time continues. So Kana is one of those that I wasn't really too into getting. So gonna be honest, I don't even know if I should unbox it. You know what? I'll just leave it to the side. I might just keep it in box. If later on I decide to add it to my collection with the rest, I'll probably just open it up. So Whiff is one that, like, when I found Thomas and Diesel, I didn't buy him because I was like, oh, I just want Thomas, and then I just Diesel, you know, classic only. But then I was like, oh, I do kind of want Whiff. And then when I went to go check if Whiff was still there, no Whiff. So at least I got him now, though, right? And in that store, that was at Ollie's. Some stores, I don't know if some states have it. I don't know if all do. I know I live in Connecticut, so we have Ollie's over here. It's kind of like a discount store, but yeah, no Whiff for me until now. So let me open this one. Okay. So here he is. Pretty nice. I do like how, like, starting in All Engines Go, they actually tried with the characters, at least making them, you know, like, look like the characters. I got like I know this is an Adventures Thomas, but you know, seeing like how they got the squashed cabs and kind of like one thing I didn't like about Adventures, or like even the classic, the first push alongs that came out, and I think this started with like the taking place with the fat magnets. They started doing this thing where like the bottom of the chassis would like line up with the buffer beam. I've always hated that, and then especially with the push alongs, well, at least these push alongs, it just looks so bad. I never liked it. That's why I literally never like bought any. This isn't even mine, this is my little cousin's. I'm just using it for, like, you know, comparison. I've always hated this. It just makes it look, I don't know, ugly. And I understand it's because of, like, you know, to hold the hook. Same thing here, holding the hook in there in place, and the fat magnets. But I just wasn't a fan. And then at least with All Engines Go, they actually like put the chassis like a bit behind the buffer beam. So like, you know, it like the buffer beam sticks out more over the like the chassis. It doesn't look as weird. And I'm actually glad they've kept that for like the classic ones. So here's Whiff. Got like dirty details. Are they the same? No, they're not. They're not the same on both sides. That's cool. So obviously nothing on the back. I do like that the buffers are printed on the back and on the front. I know they can be inconsistent with a lot of them. Like sometimes they have printed buffers on the front and not on the back, or just none at all. But I do like this Whiff. I mean, it would have been cool if it was a little bit longer, but I think it might just be because of All Engines Go. He's like, you know, kind of like Thomas length. Let me see. It's like, yeah, pretty much like Thomas length. So if they ever do release like a classic Whiff, I'd like to see, you know, a little bit more length to it. But with the way they do it in All Engines Go, you know, having like the smaller wheels and the big wheels, it does make it look a bit bigger than it's actually supposed to be, you know. So I do like that, but it also kind of looks a bit weird because Thomas looks bigger than he should be. It's weird. I don't know. It's just an All Engines Go thing though, for the most part. Okay, so Salty here. Salty, like, for the, like, pretty much looks like classic Salty, like, other than the face and, you know, a bit of the slanted parts here. Wow. I like this Salty. Same thing, the buffer beam on the front has the printed buffers, has some, like, rust on the front and the yellow. I do like that. You see? Back, no buffers. They do got this printed here, and the lamp. I'm surprised they even did the lamp. But probably just because they had to do this, so they just went for it anyways. I believe these are separately fitted pieces. Yeah, yes they are. The face, I'm not the biggest fan of the Salty face in All Engines Go, but other than that, he looks pretty good. It says Salty on the bottom. They all have that. We all know this by now. I don't know why I'm showing you guys this. So now Toby. Toby's one I've seen at Walmart before too. I never picked it up because I wasn't collecting any of these. And I should say I do like how this Toby is. Like, if you just look at it from this side, this literally looks like it could be a classic Toby. Like, you could probably put it next to this Thomas and you couldn't even tell it's an all engines go Toby. What it is pretty heavy. It's a lot of metal, and just from looking at it right now, it does look way too overscaled, kind of tall. See, compared to all engines go Thomas. Yeah, I mean, in the show, obviously he's like an adult character, so he is bigger, but probably compared to like Hero, for example, yeah, he just like kind of towers over him, which is kind of weird. I mean, maybe if they do like a classic Toby later on, they do like maybe scale him down a bit more, but I know the new lines aren't really that consistent either with the sizing, especially with the motorized stuff like Gordon and James, which I honestly don't know if I'll be getting. I know since I work at Walmart, I've basically been watching that like a hawk, and I did see in the system that I think we're getting them on the 9th. And again, this is like on the East Coast in Connecticut, so if you live around these parts, you might be getting it soon in your stores. You just gotta check like sometime early July. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'll be getting them. I'll most likely get like maybe Thomas and James, even though James has his weird scaling issues and like the whole wheel not matching the wheel arches. But I do think, like, you know, the greatest moments ones with the white running board and all that, they still look pretty nice, and I do want to, you know, support the new merchandise. Hopefully Mattel sees that. Who knows? So yeah, like I said, Toby looks pretty good. They got same all engines go wheels with no printing though, which is obviously another thing that, you know, it's inconsistent, where at least like the tender engines, they don't have that wheel printing, but then like Thomas and Diesel do. That's also kind of annoying, but too late to fix that now since all engines goes down the drain. So here's what we have. Okay, and now what we're mainly here for, classic Thomas. And I should say, like, the only reason I'm collecting this stuff now is because, like, I feel like we're actually at a point where the stuff Mattel is making actually looks pretty good. Like, for, like, I only had, like, Thomas toys, obviously, from when I was a kid. I lost interest, at least in the toys, around, like, 2014 with, like, Trackmaster Revolution and the Taken Plays with the Fat Magnets. So I mainly just watched the show. I kept up with the show. Like, I mean, I still do keep up with the show. I'm still waiting for something good to come out eventually. But yeah, since, like, I've only ever bought, like, a few things, like this pack, just because I thought it looked nice to keep in the box. And then other than that, then they switched to All Engines Go. So obviously I didn't want anything All Engines Go related until now. And then now that I saw that this year they're actually finally putting effort, that's why I went to Day Out with Thomas to get this, because I thought it looked really nice. And then I saw the push-alongs. And originally I wasn't even planning on getting the motorized, but I might now, because I think it looks better than anything we've received, at least by Mattel. So, like, yeah, I just want to support the new merch. So yeah, the Thomas right here, classic Thomas. I do like the addition of the side rods. I know they're kind of controversial in the Thomas community because they do kind of like protrude too much, but I think they're all right. You know, it's kind of like a reference to Ertl. I don't know if that was intentional, maybe it was, but this feels really nice. I do like that it has an open cab, the pistons, the coupling. I know a lot of people have also mentioned this, that the chassis is not like a full black, it's more like of a gray color. They still kept the Thomas like that. And then one thing I don't, okay, it's like two things I don't like about this. The back buffers are not printed, and then for some reason, at least Thomas, Percy, and James, from what I've seen, they have this like weird slant. Like, they're not like straight, like they kind of at a weird angle on both sides. I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know if that has anything to do with like manufacturing. Maybe it's easier. It's just like a design choice. Because I know a lot of like all engines go stuff is usually like always at a weird angle. But for this should be more, you know, like realistic, I guess you could say. This is probably not making any sense. I'm sorry. But yeah, I do really like this. Like a lot. Like I'm so glad Mattel actually like woke up and decided to make decent merch now. It's got a lamp. Then inside the cab, it's hard to see. Well, I believe that whistle is separately fitted, so might be some like plastic in there. The wheels are nice. I do like the wheels compared to the all engines go ones, which were pretty flat with some printing on them. I do like these with the spokes. Yeah, let me compare it to the Adventures Thomas, because that's all I have at the moment from like most recent Mattel merch. And the difference is like, you know, you could tell there was actually effort put into this compared to this. This feels like it was just rushed out just for a quick buck. This feels like they actually put some love into it, and I just love it. See the sides. Oh, and another thing a lot of people talk about is how the one is off-centered. I think it has to do because like the way the whole side tank goes, like this is kind of counted as space, so if you see it this way, it's kind of in the middle. But if you see it like as if the tank is ending right here, then that's why it looks like it's not really centered. While here it's more in the center because of this part right here and not the extended part. But yeah, you know, squash cab, which sucks. The coal here, I believe, yeah, the coal here is like another plastic piece just put in there, while this one is like a part of the diecast shell itself, just painted in black. And yeah, I do like seeing these improvements. Okay, so now Percy, the CGI nitrogen logo, render, sorry. Still using that after like 10 plus years. It's kind of crazy, but okay, so here's Percy. Very nice. The face, and thinking about the face, I feel like it's not like CGI Percy face. And I do have a bit of a theory, which I'll probably talk about in another video, but I feel like these new diecasts have something to do with like the supposed next like 2026 Thomas project by Mattel. They have something coming. Nobody knows what it is exactly yet, but whatever it is, I think these designs are related in some way to it. And yeah, like the face, it's kind of like, people have said this too many times, kind of like a baby face. It's kind of cute. Big eyes. Here's the sides. Same wheels, pistons, and then open cab. And then on Percy, for some reason, they decided to print the buffers, while Thomas, they didn't. I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it had to do because of the lamp. I don't know. Because it's not like they painted the lamp either, so it's not like resources are being used up on this one that weren't on this one, so they could, you know, fill in for that. Because other than that, they're pretty identical in terms of like what details they have. The pistons, the buffers, separately fitted parts. Sorry, I'm not showing them well. I'm not even looking at the camera. So, and then Percy also has that issue too, where like that weird slant kind of at an up angle. I know Henry doesn't have that, and that's a bit of a problem where it's kind of inconsistent in like the same line. But I still like all these. They all look pretty good other than that. So I do plan on collecting the rest of the line, as well as the Walmart exclusive pack with Annie and Clarabelle. Despite being like reused, old push along Annie and Clarabelle, I still want them, just because they're part of the new line. Yeah. Also the 6 has a weird font for some reason. They changed it 2026. Who knows? So yeah, other than that, sorry if this whole unboxing has been kind of a mess. This is my first unboxing video that I'm uploading. I'm still gonna work things around. Just leave me any feedback in the comments if you'd like. Still working with, like, you know, the camera angles and then the mic and all that, but yeah, just let me know. Tell me what you think about these diecasts, because they should be coming to the rest of the US pretty soon, I'd hope. At least if not, you could buy them online on that website. I'll link it down below, like I stated before, in case you're interested in getting a whole case from them. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll probably be posting I'd say maybe early July, depending if I do get the new Greatest Moments motorized packs, but hopefully something sooner, right? Hopefully they'll stock it maybe tomorrow, but I doubt it. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and goodbye.